lesson today, lesson 6, is a little different because we're dealing with whole numbers and fractions. What are those called? Mixed
numbers.
Mixed numbers, good. So when we subtract today, we're only going to draw part of it, okay? Because first of all, we don't have enough room. Second of all, I'm ready to take a step out. Are you ready to take a step out?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one, it says, for the following problems, draw a picture using the rectangular fraction model and write the answer. Simplify your answer if possible. So I need you to go ahead and draw 2 shapes here, but don't do it for the whole page yet. And go ahead and get it to fit on your paper, as nice as Skeeter does, right? Yeah.
Mine's really nice.
Okay, so today I'm only going to put the first fraction on the shapes. Why do I need 2 shapes for this first?
Because it has a
Actually, it's a mixed number, right? Okay, so what's my denominator? 4. And I'm going to break this apart for you. We're going to go slow. So each shape has to be divided into fourths. And we'll do them both vertical. Trust me on this. And then I've got 1 whole, so that would be like 4/4 right here, correct?
Yes, and we will color.
And 1/4. So just a minute. You know what I forgot again. Each of these is 1 whole, so each of these is 4/4, okay? So I will put a bracket around 1 whole and 1/4, and that's what I will shade. I'm going to write 1 and 1/4 there. So then with your highlighter, it's going to work best with a light colored highlighter today, or a colored pencil if your highlighter's too dark. Shade 1 and 1/4. So that's the first thing I want you to do. The second thing you need to do is come up with your common denominator. So what will your common denominator be for 4 and 3? 12. How'd you get that?
4 times 3.
4 times 3. So go ahead and write that down. You do not have to write it at the bottom. This is different today, okay? So now I look at, I've done my fourths, haven't I? My first denominator. Okay, look where I'm pointing. All right? Now, what's the second denominator?
1/3.
Thirds, right? So how do I show thirds?
You have to put 3 lines.
We're going to put 3, what kind of lines? Well, not 3 lines.
2.
2 horizontal lines will show thirds. And Karima, yesterday we did this on an extra shank, didn't we? And I'm going to do that, but I don't want the rest of you to. So yesterday we put our thirds on another shape, and we showed it like this, okay? I do not want you to write this because it's a step we don't need. I'm just showing you what 1/3 would look like. Okay, so that's 1/3, correct? So all I'm going to do on the other shapes, not this one, of course, because I'm getting rid of it, but I'm going to put a bracket around 1/3. Or beside 1/3, and it has to be on the side. It has to be like this, okay? So do you see where 1/3 would be if I would have shaded it?
Yes.
It would be right here, okay? Now the nice thing about this is, what am I subtracting today? 1/3, right? So what will I cross off?
1/3.
1/3. I'll do that in a minute. I've got to figure out my numerators. So what's my numerator for the pink part that I shaded?
12 12.
12 twelfths plus
15 12.
13, 14, 15. So everyone understands this is 12 twelfths because it's one whole plus 3 more. So that's 15. Okay? What's my numerator for 1/3? What is it?
Oh.
How many?
11.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's just the number you cross off. See, remember my 1/3?
Yes.
It was over here. Okay? So now, 15 minus 4 is 11 twelfths. Let's see if we have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're done. You like it?
Yes.
Quite simple, okay? We're going to go on to the next one and do the same thing, but I want to take our time so that we don't get confused. So do 2 more area models. Okay, so to start with, what's my mixed number?
1.
1 and,
1/5.
so what's my denominator for 1 and 1/5? 5.
Do we have that?
You don't have that option. Okay, so 1 and 1/5. So here's 1 whole and then 1/5. So your bracket will go around 1 and 1/5.
Oh.
Okay, so what do I do next, boys and girls? Let's shade. So 1 whole plus 1/5. Do we have anyone absent in here today? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so the next thing I do, what?
You put the line.
Okay, I look at the second denominator. What's the second denominator?
3.
3. So I will need 2 horizontal lines. Now, how much would 1/3 be? Would it be 1 row or 2 rows?
No,
1 row. So we'll put a bracket around 1/3 here. And in a minute, that's what I'll cross off because that's what I'm subtracting. So what's the common denominator for 5 and 3?
15.
And do we have 15 boxes? Is that what we came up with? Yes. Okay, so let's figure out the first numerator. So it's 1 whole, that would be how many 15ths?
15.
15 15ths plus 3 more. 18 15ths. Did you notice that's an improper fraction? Yes.
It would be 1 whole and 3 15.
And 1/15th, I think. No, 3/15ths, you're right. Okay, so now what am I subtracting?
4.
Okay, so how many 15ths is that? 5. 5 15ths. So the answer?
13.
And if I counted all those shaded boxes, do you think I would have 13 of them? Forgot to circle, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay. So fist to 5, how you doing? It's okay if it's not a 5. Because it's kind of hard to decide about that second denominator, isn't it? Okay, let's do the next 2. Okay, this is different. How's it different? We still have a mixed number. We're still subtracting a fraction. We're going to shade more than 1 in the second shade. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at, put your boxes on there. Okay, so what's the mixed number? 1 3/8. Are you listening? Okay. The mixed number is 1 3/8. So what's my denominator?
8.
So I need 8 parts and 8 parts. Remember the easiest way to make 8?
Yes.
Make fourths and divide them in half. Okay, now how many will I shade on my second box this time?
3.
I'll shade this whole thing in, so that'll be 8/8. And then, well, what does it say?
Oh, yeah. 3.
3. So my bracket will stop at the edge of 3. 1 whole and 3/8. Okay, are you shading with a highlighter? Because that's what I asked you to do. I said a highlighter or a colored pencil. That's the only choice today. Diagonal lines is not a choice because you can't see the X's. Okay, so what's the second denominator? 2. So how do I make 2 equal parts? 1 horizontal line. And what would I shade if I shaded 1? Just the bottom here?
Yeah.
Just the bottom, okay? So right next to that, bottom row, what will you write? What will you write? 1/2. Say common denominator for 8 and 2.
860.
16. And do I have 16 boxes?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Okay, so let's start with the first numerator. I have 16 sixteenths, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 sixteenths. We're going to have to simplify this one. Good thinking. Okay, so now what do I cross off? I cross off 1/2. So the bottom row, because that's 1/2. How many did you cross off?
8.
So 22 minus 8?
15.
You're getting close. 14 sixteenths. So when I simplify this,
Divide by 2.
is 14 half of 16? No. Can I divide by 2? You think that will be 1 and done? Yeah, why do you think that?
Because
14 divided by 2 is
7.
7, and I can't divide that by 2. Good job. 7/8. That one was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Your foot's asleep? Do you need to move? Get up and walk around. Okay, let's do the next two. Wonder if you could do an exit ticket today when we're done.
No.
Okay? Oh yes, you can. You gotta get a more positive attitude.
Okay. I'm positive I won't do that.
Okay, that's still negative. That's a negative.
You need to be positive.
I am positive that I will try my best.
I am positive I will fail.
No, that's still negative. Okay, so enough for that positive negative lesson. Do I need to pinch your cheeks? I'm about to come over there.
Tell me when to stand up.
I know. So 1 2/5. What do I need to do here?
You need to split it in fifths.
Split it into fifths. How many lines will that be? 4.
Oh, I did one.
Do I split both shapes?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because it's a mixed number.
Because it's a mixed number. Good answer. So I've got 1 2/5. And that's what I will shade. Are you ready for this one, Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Why do you think I do my bracket before I shade, boys and girls?
You will know.
Yeah, so because I can't erase a highlighter, can I?
No.
No.
Well, I'm back.
Well, I'm pretending I'm you. Okay? What's my second denominator?
2.
So that's 1/2 again, isn't it? Can you tell I studied last night? Watch my video, watch Dwayne's video.
Is it the same?
No, I got a better way than he does.
I almost forgot.
But I use his way to help me decide. Because I look at my teacher book, and I watch his video, and then I come up with a good solution between the two. Because he always has good ideas. What's my common denominator here? How'd you get 10?
5 multiplied by 2.
5 multiplied by 2. Okay, first numerator is all the pink.
14.
So 10/10 plus 4 more. Is she right?
Yes.
Improper fraction. And
5. That's right.
cross off 1/2.
Equals 5. And then it will 9.
Oh, that was simple.
And we can't simplify.
And you can't simplify.
Well, because of names.
The 9 and the 10 are right next to each other.
And they're odd numbers. Well, no.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's take a look at the next page here. More of the same. It's not going to hurt us. We've got time. Does the exit ticket look hard?
Oh, yes, it's hard enough for me.
5 and 2 and 3 and 6 on the exit ticket. Okay. Start with your boxes. Really wish my iPad had a box option. Need to email that company and say, give us a box, give us a shape
Each
option.
time you email a big company, it doesn't go through.
I know. Or they get, someone answers you that doesn't matter. Wouldn't that be awful if your job was just to answer emails that didn't matter?
Like, oh my bad.
Okay.
Thank
I know. Thank you for your time. We will take that into consideration. So what's my first denominator?
7.
7. We don't like 7.
No, we like 6. I like 5. Okay.
Mine are terrible. Yours are even. I know Skeeter's are. They said, the email said today, but wasn't she usually late for school?
Yeah. She was here. Yeah.
Oh, she was here this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't even see.
So 1 2/7. 1 whole and 2/7. I'll edit that part out, of course.
Which one?
Yeah. We need to keep things confidential, don't we?
What's
Okay, what will I shade?
the 2.
1 whole plus 2/7. Are you doing your brackets at the bottom?
Yeah.
You can't skip steps, Hunter.
Me?
It's very important. Well, you just told me no. You can't. Oh, it was Marco. Marco, you can't skip steps. I teach them to you for a reason.
Okay.
And this is one thing that my teacher book and Dwayne have in common. They put the brackets there. Okay? So it must be pretty important.
I want to be Dwayne when I grow up. No, really, I do.
I think you could be a good math teacher. All right, so let's take a look at this. What's my second denominator? No, I'm okay. Do you need one? 3. So how many vertical lines? 2. What will I bracket? How many thirds?
1/3.
You know the people over there can't see very well.
This is like
Okay, so now what's my next step? Common denominator. So Hunter B, how many, what's my numerator for the first fraction here? So this will be 21 21sts. Hunter G, help him out.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, don't count all these.
No, okay.
Okay.
It'll be 6 for the first one. I'm at 26.
You're close. What's 21 plus 6?
Oh, 27.
Okay, good. And for the second one,
You're gonna subtract 6.
I hope it's 7.
7.
Okay.
Oh, I know the answer.
What's the answer?
It's 18 or 7.
What? No, it's 20.
Oh,
20 20 firsts. Awesome.
And you can't simplify it because of 21.
Okay. This one's different. This one's harder.
No.
Why is that one harder?
These are probably the simplest.
No? Take a close look at it.
it's 3 divided by 3.
What's the second fraction? What's the second fraction? It doesn't have a 1, does it? You have one on your exit ticket like this. Put a star beside it. Okay?
I don't know how to start.
That's a bad star. You do it again.
Looks like a wet
Okay, so what's my first? What's my mixed number?
1/8.
What's my denominator? 3. Pay attention. So I will shake 1 and 2/3. Thank you. I will do that. Okay, the second denominator.
No.
What is it? 5. So I need four horizontal lines. That's easy for us. And this one's different, so take a very close look at it. Do I just put a bracket around 1/5?
No, you have to round, but
Because this would be 1/5.
so you're gonna go up.
2/5, 3/5. So my bracket here is the thing that's different. And the second one on your exit ticket, you will bracket more than one row. Okay? So now, what do I have? Well, I need to do what here?
Oh, you need your first common denominator.
Common denominator.
15.
Good. Now whatever color you highlighted with or colored in with, that's what you count. So this will be 15 fifteenths plus 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 fifteenths. We could have done that in our heads. Plus 10.
9.
15 plus 10. Now what do I cross off?
The 3 fifths.
The 3 rows that I put a bracket around.
9. 3 times 3 is 9.
Okay, good. So I'm subtracting 9.
16. Yeah. 16.
Uh-oh.
So we have a 1 and 1, 15. Oh, we can't simplify.
We can't.
It's not called simplify, is
We're
it?
going to put 1 whole and 1 15.
1
Like a
and
1
1
and 1 15.
115.
Okay, so on Zern you'll see it like this. 15 fifteenths plus 1 15th. So I want you to write this. Equals 1 and 1 15th. Now let's check it, okay? What would I need to have in these areas that aren't crossed off in order to have 1 whole?
15.
I would need 15. So I got 10 here, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So since I'm using my board, I'm going to try this. Whoops. Maybe I'm not. So, I don't think it's going to let me erase, is it? No, never mind. But if I count them, I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 1 whole. Plus 1 more, right there,
What is 1
is 1 15th. Okay, let's take a look at the exit ticket. I'm a little worried about it.
So we have to simplify.
That's the least of my concerns. I just want to know if you can put your brackets in the right place. Because typically they can't.
That's the exit ticket.
This is the exit ticket. It looks different than yours, okay? So let's get our boxes on there.
Leave my boxes alone.
And I want you to take this seriously. Put a star beside the second one. It's the hard one.
Oh no.
It's the one where look at your second fraction.
It's the one that we just did.
Sort of. Okay, so everything you have to have, what do you have to have here?
The
5 lines.
Five lines?
No, 4.
4 lines. Okay. You have to put a bracket around 1 whole and 1/5. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, I put 1. Oh.
1 whole and 1/5. Madison, what do I do next?
Next you shade 1 whole.
Next you shape 1 whole and 1/5. Awesome. Okay, what's the next step?
You need to split them in half.
The second denominator is 2. And you need to write 1/2. Why am I writing 1/2 beside?
Because that's what you're.
Because, good. That's what you're subtracting. Very good. That's what you're crossing off. Now all you have to do is your common denominator and finish the problem. You think you can handle it?
Yes.
Of course you can. Yes?
I don't have enough room up here to put my.
Just put it at the bottom. It's okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop it for right now. So let's take a look at the second one.
I don't think you can set the bottom second.
Okay, so what do I have here? 1 1/3. So my denominator is 3. So make sure you draw your lines like this. Okay. And I'm going to bracket 1 1/3 and highlight that. Okay. What's the next step? Your horizontal lines, okay? How many horizontal lines do I need?
5.
5, okay?
I don't think we can simplify.
I'll look at it, okay?
Yeah, we can.
I think I better start over on my lines.
I start from the edge.
I know, but 6 is an even number, so I want to start from the middle. So 5 lines will give us 6 parts. And where does my bracket go this time?
Up to the second last.
5, 6.
5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Think you can take it from there? Of course you can. Isn't that what I said last time?